I think he's wrong. The dollar is higher by 2.5% year to date. Year on year, it's actually down 2.5%. The dollar is not strong. Rates at 2.86 in the 10-year. Who would have ever believed in January, if I'd given you a fiscal stimulus, 4% unemployment and 4 to 5% GDP, you got 10-year at 286? That's cheap. I don't know what he's talking about, but I can tell you from a currency and interest rate perspective, it was a 5-minute reaction and now we're back to normal again. Start looking at tariffs. That's the one to look at, not currencies and rates.
Yeah, I mean, are you assuming, though, that this is just a one-off on the comment about interest rates? Do you worry that it's going to influence what has traditionally been an independent Federal Reserve?
No, I mean, look, we go back Bush 30 years ago. He was trying to push the Fed then. I would say Trump, given his style, is going to be more forceful, but this is a very independent Fed, and that is never, ever going away. So he can tweet, he can say whatever he wants, but markets, I think, will ignore him because he cannot influence the dollar, or he's not going to intervene in the currency, and he cannot influence rates because the Fed's in control.
You think markets will ignore him forever? Yes. If he starts treating Jerome Powell the way he treats Jeff Sessions, to like a weekly tweet storm, you think the markets will just completely ignore
What's he going to do? Fire him?
Yeah, because he can't. Only Congress can.
Yeah. There's no way Powell is going. So I think that
hold on. Have we not seen him get people to fire themselves?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm only.
Oh, come on,
I'm not
Josh.
saying that's happening yet. I'm just pointing out that it is possible.
Anything's possible, but I'd say highly
and it
unlikely.
Wasn't personal. I mean, with Sessions, to your point, Josh, that's personal. You're getting under somebody's skin.
I don't care if it's personal. I'm just saying it's something the markets, I don't think, will completely ignore.
On the currency side, I raised this earlier. It's something that I read this morning. It was interesting to point out that it's one of the paradoxes of a trade war and tariffs. Yeah. Other countries doing what they're doing with their currencies, and then you have the United States currency, which has been higher. And then what do you do about it?
Listen, Trump has basically just handed Europe an advantageous position by going on tariffs, particularly the way he's trying. Now he's starting to focus on their autos. Notice actually though that whole period on autos is 270 days and then 90 days for the POTUS to opine. So nothing's going to happen on autos for a year. I think what is happening here is that other countries, such as the ECB, are taking advantage in Europe of their weaker currencies to start normalizing their monetary policy. And also, the Fed is so much more advanced than the rest of the world. Give this 1 year, when the Fed starts slowing down and the ECB is kicking in, the dollar, in theory, and I believe it will be weaker.